good night. Tobago people, good night. Children of God, 60,000 strong, beautiful and brave. Good night.
PNM.
Mr. DJ, I'd never heard that version before, but I like it. Permit me to recognize our political leader who is on his way, and the next Chief Secretary, the visionary, Brother Ansel K. Dennis. Want to also recognize our chairperson for tonight, our current Senator, Mrs. Melanie Rajman Roberts. Well, Roberts Rajman. former Senator, my brother and friend, former Senator Lawrence Hislop in Mount St. George. The man of the moment, the next era representative for Belgarden, Glamorgan, Brother Carl McEwen.
PNM.
All our standard bearers representing the People's National Movement, PNM family, all residents of Glamorgan, Pembroke and environs. It is indeed a pleasure to address you here this evening. And as we discuss this issue of rescuing Tobago from an administration who has really put the people of Tobago last, while putting their interests and the interests of their UNC friends first. And therefore, you know, you would hear from time to time, I'm sure you young men, when you go to their office and you ask them for employment, they will tell you they can't employ you because of financial constraints. And if you go to them for a grant and you recognize you're waiting months after month and you can't get that grant, then they tell you financial constraint. And when you drive on the roads, as bad as they are here in the east, because as I was traversing this area today, and as I was driving, I had to keep swerving from pothole after pothole after pothole. And they will tell you they can't pave your road because of financial constraint. But I am here to tell you, brothers and sisters, you hear lie? That there is a big fat lie. Because this administration has benefited from the highest allocation given to any Tobago House of Assembly administration over any 4-year period. As a matter of fact, each year, this administration received an increase on their allocation year on every year, totaling $13 billion. And if you do the average of $13 billion, it therefore means over a 4-year period, they would have received up to $3 billion, 3-point-something billion dollars to spend on your behalf. And therefore, I'm asking you, the residents of Belgarden, Pembroke, Glamorgan, and environs, look around your community. Look at your own pockets. Have you seen or felt the impact in a positive way of $13 billion? Have they improved your roads? Were they able to improve your sporting facilities? Did they provide you with jobs? Were they able to provide you with opportunities, business grants, etc.? And therefore, I'm saying to you, this administration has failed you. They have failed the people of Tobago. And I want to tell you here tonight that your era representative in particular has been an abject failure as Secretary of Health. And at an appointed time, I will tell all when it comes to that ambulance fiasco. because I can say here without fear of contradiction, the evidence provided to me and the evidence I provided to the OPR, on the face of it, it is a clear case of corruption. And I will bring that evidence to you at an appointed time. I will take my time and go through file by file, document by document, screenshot by screenshot, how this administration conspired to thief $18 billion of your hard-earned taxpaying money. But not only did they try to con the people of Tobago with that ambulance fiasco, I will share with you another matter that shows how these people continue to mismanage and to corruptly utilize your funds. And this matter is about competence, governance, and respect for public funds. And this matter I'll share with you has to do with this thing called an incinerator. And if for those who don't know what an incinerator is, you see those biohazardous waste, everything you use in the hospital that needs to throw away and burn, this is what they use to burn those things and get rid of it. So the TRHA needed to, this is a service they have to do every month. And therefore, at one point in time, the incinerator that they had up at the old fort was not working. So they decided to rent an incinerator at a cost of $288,000 per month. But the trick about this is that they said it was an emergency arrangement only to go on for 3 months. And they were going to purchase an incinerator. This emergency rental ended up continuing for over 30 months. As we speak, they are still renting that incinerator. And guess what? From 2022 to now, this TRHA has paid over $8.5 million to rent an incinerator when the cost of an incinerator is about $5 million. So they have actually paid the cost that could have purchased almost 2 incinerators over that period. But more than that, during that same period, like the ambulance, they also purchased an incinerator at the cost of $6 million. But here the catch. These incompetent jokers purchased an incinerator for the old fort that cannot fit where the incinerator is supposed to go. So imagine purchasing an incinerator for $6 million. Now that incinerator has to be stored somewhere, and they are also paying millions in storage to store that incinerator that cannot fit up on the old fort. So you understand the kind of wastage. So one, you are paying rent, you are paying on a monthly basis $288,000. You also purchase one that is not being utilized, and the one that isn't being utilized, you are also paying millions in storage. So in total, for the cost of an incinerator that is just $5 to $6 million, we have spent over $20 million. So I want you to understand, so while they are saying they have no money, you understand the kind of wastage that is going on. And to top that off, the secretary then goes on through the TRHA to purchase a property that has been abandoned for over 20 years at a cost, an alarming cost of over $20 million. No valuation, no quantity surveyor report, absolutely nothing. And they are telling you they are going to use that to do an oncology center. But when you look at the building, it doesn't even have the capacity to be utilized in that kind of way. And as a matter of fact, that building is an aged building. So you can quite imagine the amount of money that has to be spent even to retrofit and renovate that building. So you understand, in this division of health alone, they would have squandered over $60 million of your money. And I'm saying here to you, brothers and sisters in Bell Garden, your area representative, as the Secretary of Health, has failed the people of Tobago, and in fact, she has failed you here in Bell Garden as a representative. And therefore, Mr. Carl McEwen, I bring Mr. Carl McEwen to you tonight as a worthy, able replacement for Faith B. Israel. Brothers and sisters, and I want to tell you, Carl, I know Carl personally. As a matter of fact, I entrusted Carl with the responsibility to be my tailor when I was getting married. And oh, what a fantastic and fabulous job Carl did with preparing me and my groomsmen for my wedding. And therefore, the same diligence, the same reliability, the same sort of ingenuity, and the same kind of delivery that Carl would have performed in ensuring my bridal party was ready. I am absolutely positive it is the same type of representation you will get here in Bell Garden, Glamorgan. And I endorse again Carl McEwen to the people of Bell Garden, Glamorgan. But brothers and sisters, more than anything in this election, I want to treat with this issue of the radar. And I know those on the other side, they don't want us to enlighten you and educate you about the danger of that military radar. Because while they are telling you that radar is a gift, you heard Certica telling you all we got an early Christmas gift. What they have actually given us is a gift of death. And I will explain to you why that radar is a gift of death. Because that military radar is a military asset used in time of military conflict and war. And therefore, when you have two warring parties and the one is about to go after the other, the first thing they do is try to take out all the various assets. And that military radar serves as an eye, as an intelligence for the United States in times of conflict to tell them who is coming, where they're plotting, when they're coming, and so forth. And therefore, the enemy of the United States, the first thing they will want to do is take out that radar. And where is that radar located? Where is that radar located? In poor, sweet Tobago. And as I've said, the day we hear conflict break out between the United States and Venezuela, bet your bottom dollar Tobago, the next thing you will hear is boom. And when you hear boom, perhaps none of you will be able to tell the next story, because all are we might just be. And that is the reality of that gift that Farley Augustine, Certica Orr, Mr. David Thomas, Mr. Joel Notsi Sampson, Dr. Faith B. Israel, and the rest has given and brought to the people of Tobago. And I want you to understand that the thing keep getting worse and worser. And the reason why it keep getting worse and worser is because they keep lying and lying, and it's lies and more lies they are telling to us. Because you would have heard the Prime Minister saying initially that the US was here to build a road. About a whole month later, not one sight of a road. And then she said they just came here to drop off goods because they must want to fix a school here and there. And then we recognized that that too was a lie. And when pushed and said, well, we've seen something looking like some kind of asset, then she finally admitted it was a radar. But only a few days ago, I think it was just yesterday, we saw a drone shot. And that drone shot show us that is more than just the radar. It's a whole military camp. And if you don't believe me, I want you to take in this Fox News report. Mr. Producer. Bring that Fox News report, because you see, we are getting more information outside than we are actually getting inside. And it is on the international news we are really learning how much danger we really are in. So Mr. DJ will bring up to you that Fox News report, and what you would hear for yourself is Fox is telling us in Puerto Rico and in Trinidad and Tobago, the United States has set up military bases. Did you know that? So now, without our knowledge, without our consent, we have become a military base for conflict between the United States and Venezuela. And I want to tell you all a personal story and why we should be very, very, very concerned. Because as simple as you see Venezuela, them people there, they don't play. As a student, I remember looking up cheap flights because I want to come home for Christmas. And I decided to take an aeropostal flight from Miami, connecting in Maracaibo, into Caracas, and then to Port of Spain. And brothers and sisters, the kind of experience I got coming through Maracaibo, and by the time I reached Caracas, where I felt like I was in a war zone, and to get to Port of Spain, I had a return ticket, and I tore up that return ticket. Such what horrific was that experience. And if all you think the Venezuelans will just lie back and watch the United States drop bombs on them, think again. And this is why I want you all to recognize. So I'll play that clip from Fox News.
Here's how the administration is ramping up their pressure against Maduro's regime. First off, let's take a look at the region. We have two places we're hitting, the Caribbean, and we're hitting the Pacific. We've had 14 hits in the Pacific. We've had 11 in the Caribbean. These are roughly the places we're doing it. This is Venezuela. This is Colombia. Where are our assets? These are our ships. This is 15% of our armada. This is about 15,000 troops as well. They're located on these various bases in the region from Puerto Rico to Trinidad and Tobago. And this is where they plan on implementing the blockade.
The bases are located in Puerto Rico and Trinidad and Tobago, and this is where they plan to implement their blockade. So, brothers and sisters, like it or not, Trinidad and Tobago is in the middle of any conflict to escalate between the United States and Venezuela. And who brought this upon us? Farley Augustine and Kamla Bissessa. And when she was asked, imagine she's so bold-faced, she brought a radar here in Tobago without our consent, without our permission. And when she was asked about the chief secretary now having a change of heart and perhaps now saying he would not have brought that radar if he had his way, here is her response to our chief secretary, to our Tobago people. So it means she has absolutely no respect for us, no consideration for us. Here, what is her response? And I want to bring the receipts because I want us to hear for ourselves the kind of disrespect that is being administered and shown to the people of Tobago by the UNC and their TPP conspirators. Because you would admit and you would recall, if Dr. Rowley had done something like this, do you think the chief secretary would have remained silent? You remember how they behaved for Sandals? You remember how they were behaving for the airport when Dr. Rowley was trying to build that airport? They even took him to court to prevent that airport. And now, you will recall now that all of them suddenly want to occupy our airport. bring the US military. Imagine we haven't even gotten an opportunity to enjoy a brand new $1 billion airport, but that airport has been sacrificed as a military base. And you'll hear, volume, Mr. Producer.
Said that if he had his way, he would not put the radar in Tobago, nor allow US aircraft in Tobago's airport. So how do you feel about that statement?
Well, Farley doesn't have his way, does he? He's entitled to his opinion. I am not of that opinion. The radar has proved very useful to us. You mentioned the millions of dollars in drug busting. Maybe Tobago doesn't have that problem, but we have it here in Trinidad. And what was the other issue? The radar and the military. Again, the military is training us. The military is, in fact, doing humanitarian work. They're helping schools. They're helping in the police stations and the various army bases. They're actually doing physical work to upgrade. And then they're doing training for our military in the event that anything bad happens. So I do not agree with Mr. Farley on this matter, insofar as it concerns especially Trinidad, that Mr. Farley is entitled to his opinions and to his views.
You hear lie? That is the lie. And more than that, you heard how easily the Prime Minister dismissed Farley, saying that, well, Farley doesn't have his way, does he? As if we don't matter. And I'm not here to defend Farley because apparently, and perhaps I should, because Farley cannot defend himself no more. But I'm here to speak on behalf of the people of Tobago. And we are saying here in the PNM, and I am saying as minority leader, and I am saying as a Tobagonian to this Prime Minister, take your radar and put it in Siparia. We are going to move that radar as soon as the PNM becomes the next administration of Tobago. Because you see, Farley has lost his voice. Farley has stopped speaking for the people of Tobago. Because you see those things that are coming up from Trinidad, the ham, the lamb, the TV, the hamper. Farley has sold his voice for UNC financing. And therefore, Farley no longer can represent us. And we are saying in the PNM, we will stand in defense of the people of Tobago and stand in defense of Tobago people's lives and their livelihoods. And I'm saying to you all of Tobago, you need to get on board. You need to realize that this is no longer about red, blue, or black. This is no longer about code. This is no longer about Eric Williams' days and 21 years versus 4. This is now a matter of life versus death. And when you go to vote, you now have to decide if you are going to vote to preserve your life or if you are going to vote to allow people to have a radar that will lead potentially to your death. And this is what part of what this election is about. We are in serious times, Tobago, and don't let them try to tell you about dismiss radar. That issue, that radar issue, is something that is affecting Tobagonians even as we speak. Tourism is in a mess. Our numbers are down by over 21%. The accommodation sector, the accommodation total occupancy average is about 32%. Nobody could live on 32% occupancy. Tobagonians, it's time we get serious. It's time we understand this isn't about a 10 on, 10 off. It isn't about a drink. It isn't about a little fete. It's not even about getting a little TV or a little hamper. This election is about the future of Tobago. And therefore, we have to all act as responsible, Tobago-loving, right-thinking people and make decisions that will lead to Tobago being preserved, Tobago being rescued, and we putting Tobago first. So as I close, country people, I love all you. Tobago people, I love all you. And Tobago people, I believe that you all understand what is at stake. I am calling on you all, as Mr. London used to say, all your big and all you have sense. Don't let them people fool all you. Because you know, they really sometimes believe that we may not be as smart as we are. And we must come out and show them we understand the issues. We watch all you for 4 years, and Big Dog said it best. All you had 4 years, all you mess up the place, and it's time for all you to ride out. And I'm saying vote to protect Tobago. Vote to protect our heritage, because they're giving away our estates as we speak. Vote for Ansel Dennis in Buku. Vote for Kamla here in Belgarden. Vote for Kelvon Morris in Darrell Spring Wim. Petal Daniel Benoit in Scarborough Mount Grace. Maxon Roberts up in Charlottesville. Shanae John in Roxborough. Kamisha Bacchus in Mount St. George. Dexter Miller in Bacolet. Kwesi Devines in Mason Hall. Akil Guy in Plymouth. And Bethesda Golden Lane. Karen Forbes in Plymouth Blackrock.
PNM.
Harvest God in Lambeau.
PNM.
Brian Harris in Signal Hill.
PNM.
Dominic Kerr in Canaan. And the one and only Sterling Big Dog Timothy in Bethel. And when we bring in all 15 seats, PNM Tobago, children of God, we will all sing and shout victoriously. Great is our God. Great is the people of Tobago, both in the east and in the west. And great is this party that has built Trinidad and Tobago, the People's National Movement. And we have prevailed. I thank you.